K-pop is probably one of the hottest things right now since the K-pop group named High Five of Teenagers debuted in 1996. K-pop groups have been breaking records left and right, popping and collaborating with Western entertainment to widen their popularity, winning the hearts of people around the globe. But did you know that behind the glittering performances and behind their overflowing success, there are frightening, almost sickening corners of this industry? From collapsing caused by lack of sleep and consuming just an ice cube after 24 hours of endless training, to committing the greatest sin on earth, ending their own lives. This is the dark side of the K-pop industry. The curse of being a K-pop idol. If you're working or as a student right now, your routine is most likely going to school or going to work, finishing your projects and assignments, watching Netflix, playing online games, and this is the exact opposite if you're a K-pop idol or aspiring to be one. You'll probably see your trainer more often than your parents because on top of going to school or going to your job, you need to train all the time. Like learning the Korean language if you're a foreign trainee, practicing dancing, and having vocal lessons. And whatever skill you're enhancing, you have to practice it even on the holidays. No pauses, no breaks, just master your talent and become the so-called idol. Not to mention that entertainment companies are extremely selective when it comes to choosing their trainee, so you can smell from afar how toxic and competitive that kind of environment is. If you became the chosen trainee, the company will invest its money to train you. Sounds good, right? But here's the thing, you're expected to pay it back. This seems like nothing if your career shines like a star, but if you fail, you're again expected to pay it back. Because of all that, your debt to the company grows day in and day out. And speaking of day by day, you're not allowed to follow your regular eating routine if you're in the K-pop industry because they have extreme diet rules. Take the vocalist of BTS, Jimin, as an example. He showed signs of anorexia, an eating disorder, and serious mental health conditions. He admitted that he had only eaten a single meal within the span of 10 days because of his intent to lose weight and appear more slimmer because it's the standard for the typical K-pop idol. K-pop idols are expected to meet extremely high bars of moral standards to represent K-pop as free from everything bad in life, such as violence, drugs, mental health issues, so on and so forth. And this points us to the sensitive issue of mental health in South Korean culture. As Park Bom said in his interview regarding her mental health issue, in this country, mental health is still a tender, nearly taboo topic. In one article from BBC, a former K-pop trainee, Elaine Chong, said that she could have been a K-pop idol, but she was glad she quit. Why? Well, when you're journeying your way to become an idol, if you collapse, it's normal, because starving yourself is like a golden rule as a trainee. If you collapse due to exhaustion, good for you. It's a sign of working really hard because you want it so much. As Chang recalled it, looking back on it now, I think it was really disgusting. Now, maintaining these small-scale weight measurements is far from the middle line. As one of the trainees, you would undergo monthly evaluations. In the case of YG Entertainment, the agency that brought 2NE1 and BlackPink to life, they require trainees to perform one group performance as well as one solo performance. So, as you might imagine, you and other trainees will be evaluated by the staff. And don't think that they're going to be kind and sweet, giving you compliments and motivating you to improve, because all you'll receive is heartless criticism. And if you fail to amuse them, your career will end before it even started, as they abruptly send you home. And now that you're in the house, brokenhearted by what happened, open your Netflix and watch the BlackPink Light Up the Sky documentary and see for yourself. As Jennie Kim said, I remember having to send a good friend of mine home every month because they got eliminated from the test. And being told that I'm not good at stuff face to face and trying to keep everything together, when I hear those things, it was very harsh. Well, she's right. It's harsh, but not as harsh as what happened to the band of East Light from Media Line Entertainment. This news will probably raise your eyebrows because Lee said he and his members had been verbally and physically abused by a producer named Producer A. The East Light, even after their debut, is locked up, beaten, and threatened multiple times. Lee's description of what Media Line Entertainment did to him and his members are plainly terrifying. But it's not just the small agencies that are doing this kind of punishment, because SM and YG are reportedly having the same punishments too. And if that raises your eyebrows, then the next thing that we're going to tell you is going to give you goosebumps, because not all of them have mental toughness to fight the pressure. And that leads to ending their own lives. For the past few years, numerous idols opened up about having the stress of their fans and agencies put on their shoulders, and despite countless hours of practicing their craft, they received ruthless criticism from people. Some idols are going too far by even taking their own lives. The depression that has slowly eaten away at me has finally consumed me, and I couldn't beat it. These are the last words written by the 27-year-old Jonghyun of the popular boy band Shinee before taking his own life December 18 of 2017. 2 years later, Soli from the girl group FX took her own life too, and 6 weeks after her death, a member of a girl group, Kara, named Gu Hara, 28 years old, died, and according to the police investigation, the incident is described as a suicide. Now, you're fired and sent home by your agency, right? You can say to yourself that the treatment of K-pop trainees might be extremely cruel, and you might be cursing their tactics of finding the next big thing in the K-pop industry. No worries, you're not the only one binding the spell, but no matter how huge matters of trainees and idols raising their hands against the work industry's way, they're not going to change it because it works. And even if you don't like it, the monstrous way of treating trainees and idols is what shapes them into mythological celebrities that we see everywhere on the internet. Using the idea of failure and stress as motivation allows trainees to improve themselves to an unimaginable scale. And even the top-selling girl group has gone through this kind of treatment too. Twice we've talked about what it was like before debuting, and the Japanese member Momo reveals how their agency instructed her to lose 14 pounds or 7 kilograms in a single week just to meet the launching requirements. How could they achieve that kind of requirement? You won't believe this, so keep watching. One of the trainee exercises 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They will consume nothing but a single ice cube, afraid that even the single ice cube could move the needle of the weighing scale. And the effect of this traumatic experience is that the trainee was terrified to go to sleep because she might have not waken up again. It's normal that trainees are physically alluring. That's why agencies are controlling their bodies by giving them an intensive diet plan. But it's just the tip of the iceberg, because when we dig deeper, we can see the meticulous gym routine. A member of Crayon Pop confessed how difficult this routine was by saying, "We used to dance with 4 kilograms or 8.8 pounds of sandbags on our feet for several days. Our teacher wanted us to get used to the sandbags, so without them, our dances would look lighter." K-pop idols are made to train for 8 to 10 hours per day, with short breaks like a body-breaking routine together with 1 meal a day or 2 depending on the idol's goal. To make it even worse, this is just the average idol or trainee's routine. The effect of this routine could be seen at concerts and live stages. Some of them are killing it with kindness, performing to the next level. But some of them, we won't say any words. Just take a look at this. Yes, the K-pop industry has a resume to prove that the tactics of putting trainees through this kind of unimaginable amount of stress is effective as hell. But just like any wound in the human body, it leaves scars on the trainee's soul, and even if they become the idol that they dream of, the anxiety and stress will still haunt them. Everyone is perfect, and if someone isn't perfect, they're labeled to be unworthy of being an idol. Trainees are like clay to agencies because they're always trying to mold them into the perfect image. And this kind of extremely strict mindset transforms the netizens, shaping their mentality to expect perfect idols and to criticize or tear down anyone who's far from such a thing. Now, let's get back to you. After they've sent you home, after witnessing and hearing all the harsh yet effective and helpful ways of raising the next superstar idol, what do you think? If it's working, why would they change it?